TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Israeli Defense Minister Yisrael Katz asserts that Israel is working to advance the voluntary emigration plan for Gazan residents in accordance with the U.S. President's vision. U.S. President Donald Trump reaffirms that if Iran fails to meet American demands in negotiations, it would face a coordinated military option. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian asserts that the Islamic Republic would not agree to abandon its nuclear program. The IDF persistently escalates its operational activities against terror targets throughout the Gaza Strip. According to the IDF spokesperson's unit, in the area of the southern town of Rafah, troops of the Givati Brigade, which operates under the Gaza Division's command, located and dismantled dozens of weapons and terrorist infrastructure, including a tunnel shaft located near a residential building in the town of Shabura, where weapons caches of mortar rounds were located and destroyed. It is important to highlight that the operational activity in the southern Gaza Strip is merely one ground maneuver currently underway that is being conducted in parallel to additional operations throughout the terror-ridden Gaza Strip. Turning to the Löwenstein Rehabilitation Medical Center in the central city of Ra'anana, where IDF Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir visited IDF troops who've been wounded during the Seven Front War, which was sparked by the Islamist Hamas on October 7th of 2023.
I came here to see you before the Passover holiday. I wanted to tell you that I came here to strengthen you. I'm excited about what I saw here. You have extraordinary power. I wish that the entire people of Israel could sit here and just to hear you. We have here all of the people of Israel. We have here people from Kfar Tapua, from New York, from Keshet, from Had HaSharon, from Moshavim and Kibbutzim and cities. We have here people who are religious, ultra-Orthodox, and secular. We have every society here, both reserve and conscripts. You sacrificed and gave, and were willing to pay the ultimate price. You got wounded, and I think that this matter reflects heroism. I want to really voice my appreciation, my deep gratitude.
It is important to know that many IDF troops who had sustained injuries rehabilitated and returned to their respective units to serve in the Seven Front War against Iran's axis of terror proxies, to include the Islamist Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, in the Morag corridor, which is located between the towns of Han Yunis and Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip, where Defense Minister Yisrael Katz toured the area and met with IDF commanders and troops fighting the Palestinian terror groups in the enclave.
I came here today to strengthen my commanders and soldiers who are fighting resolutely with the aim of releasing the hostages and harm Hamas power. The IDF is eliminating terrorists. It locates and thwarting terrorist infrastructures and dismembers the Gaza Strip, even in places like the Morag corridor, where we had not operated to date. The Gaza population is evacuating from the fighting zones, and many areas are being seized and are added to the security zones of the State of Israel, leaving Gaza smaller and more isolated. If Hamas continues its refusal and does not release the hostages soon, the IDF will engage in intense fighting throughout Gaza until all of the hostages are released and Hamas is defeated. At the same time, we are working to advance the voluntary immigration plan for Gaza residents in accordance with the U.S. President's vision, which we are working to realize. I appeal from here to the residents of Gaza: eliminate Hamas and return the hostages. This is the only way to stop the war.
Meanwhile, ahead of looming nuclear talks between the United States and Iran, which are scheduled to take place in the Sultanate of Oman on Saturday, Israeli residents of Jerusalem voiced hope that it would yield a result in which the Islamic Republic's Ayatollah regime that repeatedly calls for the annihilation of the State of Israel would be stripped from its capacity to develop nuclear weapons.
Like every human being in the world, we would love everything to negotiate and close things in a deal on the table and in peace. Then in a war, the casualties will be enormous. But the difference is from the Biden administration and Obama that this time it's not just words. The gun is on the table. No, it's not. We have seen what kind of forces the U.S. brought into the region, and there was the only way to force Iran to come negotiate. The big difference is that Trump means business, means you're going to disarm or we're going to bomb. One of the two. You're not going to have nuclear weapons. Okay? That's like the whole difference.
So I read that, and it took me a second, and I thought, in Hebrew or in Arabic, you say yalla, like let's, if other things haven't worked, so what's he got to lose? Like, why not? If he gets somewhere with it, then good luck to him and good luck to us. I think it can only help.
Meanwhile, in Tehran, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian claimed that the Ayatollah regime was holding indirect talks with the United States in an evident attempt to push back at American demands to hold direct negotiations.
We are holding talks, as the Supreme Leader has stated, indirectly, with dignity and pride, and with every assurance necessary to show that we are not pursuing a nuclear bomb. They have come 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times to investigate, and they can come investigate again. We have not been, are not, and will not be pursuing a nuclear bomb.
In contrast to the Iranian claims of transparency, the International Atomic Energy Agency explicitly noted in its latest reports that Iran's decision to remove all of the agency's equipment previously installed in Iran for surveillance and monitoring activities has had detrimental implications for the agency's ability to provide assurance of the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. Moreover, the IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi raised the alarm by stating, quote, "The significantly increased production and accumulation of high-enriched uranium by Iran, the only non-nuclear weapon state to produce such nuclear material, is of serious concern."
We are not seeking war, but in the face of any aggression, with the knowledge and capability that our dear ones Iranian scientists have created, we will stand powerfully. The more they strike, the stronger we will become. The more they threaten, the firmer we will stand. We are not aggressors. We have no intention of attacking anyone.
While blatantly lying about its belligerence, while also leveling a veiled threat over its potential nuclear capabilities, the Iranian president went on to claim with a straight face that the Islamic Republic is a country of peace. Pezeshkian also stressed that the Ayatollah regime does not intend to abandon its nuclear aspirations.
We want peace. We want security. We are people of dialogue, but with dignity and pride. We will not compromise on our achievements. We will not make deals on our achievements. And we will never allow anyone to think for us, innovate for us, or be creative on our behalf.
Meanwhile, at the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters that if nuclear talks fail, a military option is on the table.
Well, they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Did you mean military action, though, if they don't agree?
Oh, if necessary? Absolutely. Yeah.
And do you have a
deadline for these
Yeah,
talks?
I do.
And
You're talking about with Iran?
Yes.
Yeah, I
They're saying
do.
it's not
Do you want something definitive this weekend, or do you see this as the start of a process?
It's a start.
Do you have a timeline?
We have a little time, but we don't have much time
Who is it starting the
because we're not going to let them have a nuclear weapon.
Is it
Can't let them have a
going to
nuclear
be there, Mr. President?
And we're going to let them thrive. I want them to thrive. I want Iran to be great. The only thing they can't have is a nuclear weapon. They understand that.
When is
You know, the people are so incredible in Iran, and they're so smart. They're very smart people. But, you know, they're in a rough situation, rough regime. But they understand, and the leaders understand. And I'm not asking for much. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
President Trump went on to highlight that an attack by the United States would also include its strongest regional ally, namely the State of Israel.
If it requires military, we're going to have military. Israel will obviously be very much involved in that. He'll be the leader of that. But nobody leads us. We do what we want to do.
It is important to clarify that in any kinetic offensive against Iran, the IDF would operate under the leadership of U.S. Central Command, which is commanded by General Michael Kurilla, who visited Israel last week for extensive discussions with IDF Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir, to include strategic security issues across the region. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to highlight that TV7 Israel is a donation-based ministry with all of our programs made possible by the generosity of our viewers. Therefore, if you're blessed by the content of our productions, please consider becoming a TV7 Israel supporter. You can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.